Hi, so you want to do physics? Choose physics, choose Trinity College Dublin. So, I'm going to be talking about careers for physicists, and I'll give a view from Trinity College Dublin. And so, here, my name is Professor Cormac McGuinness. I'm the course director for physical sciences and the course director for the physics degree. First, I'd ask, why would you want to choose physics to do in university? I think you should choose it because you love physics, or you have a real curiosity for how things work in the world. If we look at what jobs that are open to physicists, jobs across the whole of the sector of employment, all sectors of employment are open to physicists, whether it's in energy, health and medicine, space science, information technology, finance and legal, research, media, science communication, as well as education, whether a teacher or in terms of a university lecturer, such as myself. So why come to Trinity College Dublin? Well, you will have seen from other talks about what the Trinity graduate attributes are. All Trinity graduates should emerge from their degrees being able to think independently, to act responsibly, to communicate effectively, and to develop continuously. So that's true of all of our Trinity graduates, but it's especially true of our physics graduates. Why physics then? In a continuously changing world, our physics degrees and the aforementioned Trinity graduate attributes provide the skills needed for lifelong learning. But in particular, in our physics degrees, you get exposed to complex problem solving. And a graduate who can solve problems from first principles or from inspection or from examination of what the critical things are, then that's somebody who can work in all sorts of different careers, in all sorts of different aspects of research and of industry and of business, such as management consulting or data analysis or in legal frameworks, because in addition to the complex problem solving, any science degree will in particular ask students to develop their critical thinking and their creativity. Creativity is embedded in science as well, in terms of developing creative approaches to solve the problems and to understand what kind of tool sets that you might have in terms of approaching problems. And in physics then we also develop a good understanding of complex systems. So complex systems are now all around the world, all around us in the world, whether it's in social systems or in the weather and climate, or energy science, and then the competing demands of going to a green economy. And so the complex systems are often determined or underpinned by complex mathematics. And so graduates in physics will be skilled in advanced mathematics. And other than graduates in mathematics itself, there will be no more highly skilled graduates emerging in Ireland who are skilled in advanced mathematics than are physics graduates. And the combination of being skilled in advanced mathematics and being exposed to data, and developing skills in interpreting data, either from your capstone or final year research project or through your laboratory education across the 4 years of your degree, you get to learn how to interpret data. If we look at the top 10 skills that are the Future of Jobs report from the World Economic Forum were described as in 2020, in those top 10 skills, complex problem solving, critical thinking, creativity are the top 3. So all of the skills which I've highlighted and the Trinity graduate attributes, these are lifelong skills of our graduates, and they reflect the course outcomes of all of our physics degrees. So what kind of career will you have? Okay. To some extent there's a myth of a non-linear career. Now, I mean, a linear career is where you have a goal and you set out and you achieve that goal without taking any deviations along the way, but that's to some extent a large fiction. The myth that is there is that reality takes you away on various different side loops, as in this diagram, okay? But that's not really true, because again, so this is a myth. In reality, you can, and many people do, plan their careers. So if you have a career planning model, if you figure out what it is that you'd like to do, you can explore those opportunities. You can make the appropriate choices to set yourself up for those future opportunities, take action, but all of this is dependent upon knowing yourself and what your skills and attributes are at a personal level, which would make you suitable for the career that you'd like to identify. But so this is a circle diagram. So it is true then that some people don't have a specific plan, and we in our physics degrees do help you in developing your understanding of careers through third-year modules on careers planning and as well as communication skills. So why TCD Physics? Why begin your career with a physics degree from Trinity College Dublin? Well, one might say that you would like to be here in the environment within Trinity College Dublin and within our School of Physics. Okay, there's a long history of physics in Trinity College Dublin, dating back to perhaps 1692 is the first date we can say, because one of the professors at that time wrote the first book on optics in English. Since then, you may have heard of renowned physicists associated with Trinity College Dublin, such as William Rowan Hamilton, George Francis Fitzgerald, Erwin Schrödinger, who lived in Dublin and occasionally lectured in Trinity College Dublin, as well as Ernest Walton, the Irish Nobel Prize winner in physics from 1951. But why physics in Trinity College Dublin? Why now? Well, now physics in Ireland, Trinity College Dublin has the largest physics degree programs in Ireland, and in the last 2 years we've graduated more than 90 physicists across our 4 physics degrees. That is the degree in physics, the degree in physics and astrophysics, the degree in nanoscience, and the degree in theoretical physics, all of which are accredited degrees by the Institute of Physics. Also, within our physics department, the largest physics research funding in Ireland across topics ranging across physics, astrophysics, material science, magnetism, nanoscience, computational material science, energy science, as well as quantum information, funded from agencies such as the European Research Council, the Science Foundation Ireland, Irish Research Council, as well as the Royal Society, and quite a number of industrial partners as well. If we look at world rankings, then in fact, according to the QS World University Rankings, only one of which I've picked out here, the highest ranking physics and astronomy department in the island of Ireland is Trinity Department in Trinity College Dublin, where we're ranked among the top 100 to 150 across the world, and between the top 40 and 66 within Europe. In addition, we have the highest ranking for material science, nanoscience in the island of Ireland, and the World University Rankings put us among the top 51 to 100 departments or universities for material science, and within the top 25 within Europe. So why come here? Why begin here with a physics degree from Trinity College Dublin? It's because you'll be taught by world-leading physicists. Now, we could look at a variety of sources for careers in physics. One very good source for a profile of a day in the life of 28 Irish physicists working either in Ireland or abroad is at the Institute of Physics in Ireland website, if you look under the careers section. Similarly, you can look at the working in physics section on the parent Institute of Physics site at iop.org for profiles of physics careers in the UK. And physics is not just for physics degrees. Information on careers in STEM, can be found at smartfutures.ie, which has 62 different stories where leaving certificate in physics is relevant and necessary. So regardless of what university choices you wish to make, physics actually will be helpful in a very wide variety of them. So this wheel indicates a variety of physics careers, from medical physics, meteorology, alternative energy, computing, materials science, industry, the scientific civil service, communications, environmental physics, education, geophysics, and engineering. Okay. Okay, it might be quite useful to talk about or to show you over the last 10 or 12 years what some of our most recent graduates from Trinity College Dublin physics degrees are doing. So this is a snapshot from earlier this year of the current job titles of some of our most recent graduates. Now, a person's job title changes as they progress through their career, so this is just a snapshot. So I'm going to highlight, as I go through these 4 pages, I might just highlight in red on the slide the countries where, other than Ireland, where some of our graduates currently are, and then I might indicate in blue some particularly interesting job titles associated with the career point in the career that these former students, now graduates, are. So, you know, here we see in this first page we have graduates now working in Qatar, Germany, Australia, the United Kingdom, the USA, and so on. You know, here we see a title of a Scrum Master at a Commonwealth Bank in Sydney, or a business analyst at Deloitte Consulting in Chicago, or the head of microfabrication at the Iron Beam Center in Dresden in Germany. On our second page, again, we can see students working in Ireland, but also in the United Kingdom, Germany, Netherlands, Japan, Canada, Australia, and the USA. So here we have others, such as within Ireland, an advanced manufacturing engineer. That's his job title. A data scientist, a technology correspondent at The Economist magazine, senior game server engineer at Digit Game Studios in Japan, or workstream project lead for design and engineering at ASML, which is a very large semiconductor manufacturing equipment manufacturer. Looking on our third page, again, we have graduates all across Ireland, in the United Kingdom, the USA, Netherlands, and so one of our graduates is a behavior planning lead at Starsky Robotics, okay, which is she is developing automation for driverless trucks. In Ireland, trainee actuary at the Central Bank of Ireland, or in the UK, a graduate in theoretical physics, who is now the satellite navigation policy lead at the United Kingdom Space Agency. Many of our graduates do end up working for Intel, and so only one of the job titles I note here of a recent graduate is a C4 process engineer, a clean energy specialist in Ireland, the recently appointed head of the Environmental Protection Agency. She is a Trinity graduate as well. The chief data scientist at Electrical Analytics, a startup, and we might focus on that person just momentarily, since last November has now moved to Canada and is a senior associate data analyst at Capital One in Toronto. We also have graduates working in Johnson & Johnson in the medical or medical physics industry, so a project manager or a bioprinting engineer. Others are working in Canada, as I said, or in Switzerland or the USA, and as science communicators. And then lastly, at the bottom of the page, a senior quantitative analyst for the AA, the Automobile Association, who is now subsequently moved to be the marketing analytics manager at LinkedIn here in Ireland. This is just a sampling of some of our physics degree graduates' current careers. So, what physics degrees in TCD? Let's remind you of this if you haven't seen all of the other videos. There are 4 degrees with physics as the major component in Trinity College Dublin. The Physical Sciences course encompasses entry into any one of our 3 degrees in physics, physics and astrophysics, and nanoscience. And the theoretical physics separate direct entry is a direct entry into the theoretical physics degree. So I put down the entry requirements for the two courses here, the physical sciences course and the theoretical physics course. So you want to do physics. Physics or physics and astrophysics or nanoscience, which is you can access through the physical sciences entry, or also with the School of Chemistry through the chemical sciences entry, or theoretical physics. So to learn more about our degree courses, go to our main physics website or attend our open days. So let's go back again and we'll pick out a number of the graduates. And so we'll just look at a sample career path of some physics graduates and what kind of transitions that they might have in their career. So here we have, for our graduates in the physics degree, some have ended up doing PhDs either here or in Cork, and they've progressed on to take postdoctoral research positions, science fellowships, and then perhaps transitioning into industry or into business, such as data science. Others are working in the manufacturing industry, such as Intel, following a PhD and their bachelor's degree in physics. Others might have taken, in this case, a master's degree in mechatronic sciences and now worked in Jaguar Land Rover, self-learning car software, and is now a system lead at Starsky Robotics in the Bay Area in California. A master's degree in physics, then a postgraduate researcher, and then transitioning from that into finances, so a fund accountant at Irish Progressive Services International. Some of the career paths for theoretical physics graduates might include perhaps transitioning to a PhD in mathematics, and then becoming a researcher in New York, and then a lecturer or assistant professor in UCD. Or a PhD in physics, having done a theoretical physics degree, then continuing to do research perhaps in a laboratory, and then becoming an engineer at Intel Corporation. Or taking a PhD in computational condensed matter, looking at how solids behave, and now working through science outreach and then transitioning into developing research software. Then in terms of industrial research, a student in theoretical physics went on to do a PhD in the University of Cambridge, and then became a postdoctoral researcher in Germany, and then a research staff member in IBM research in the United Kingdom. Or a student taking a master's in Cambridge after their bachelor's degree here, and then a PhD in high energy physics, working in CERN, but now is working in finances. AI research associate, so working for a financial company, but working with artificial intelligence in a financial company. If we look at some sample career paths of physics and astrophysics graduates, so an MSc in space science in UCD, then a trainee for the European Space Station and taking a PhD in astrophysics in Leuven, a PhD astrophysics in UCD, a postdoctoral research position in Sweden, in Stockholm, and then in Munich, and then working in a startup company here in Ireland, and now is working on Earth observation, looking at satellite data for marine services. Or going on to do a master's in medical physics in Galway, dosimetrist in Mater Private is now a medical physicist in the Mater Hospital here in Dublin. Or taking a master's in space science in University College London, returning for a PhD here in Trinity College Dublin, working in the Met Office in the United Kingdom, and now returned again as a researcher in Trinity College Dublin. Or a graduate who went on to do a PhD in astronomy in the University of Cambridge, and then become a researcher in Harvard Smithsonian Center for Astrophysics. So if we look then at some sample career paths of nanoscience graduates, so as we see here, many of our nanoscience graduates, similar to other career pathways, have taken further degrees such as PhDs or a master's degree, But that's not always the case. Some students will go directly into industry or into business directly after their degree. So in this case, a PhD in material science, electrochemistry, now working for a chemical and engineering material science company, PhD in nanoscience in Trinity College Dublin, but is now transitioned to work for a biomedical engineering company, and then has become a data scientist after that. Okay, a PhD in nanoscience in Trinity again, but then working in the United Arab Emirates as a researcher there, and then in Japan, and is now an engineer in Intel, but not in Ireland. Okay. And then a master's degree in polymer engineering from University of Ulster, then a PhD in polymers from Queen's University Belfast, now working as an aerospace mechanical engineer at this microsemi company, or a PhD in nanotechnology, now working as advanced manufacturing engineer in a company called Baker Hughes. If we look at two specific examples, one of our graduates from a number of years ago, 12 years ago, in our physics degree and specialized in computer simulation, did a PhD. This is Dr. Barry Murphy, and he has had a storied and interesting career as a researcher, a physicist, and an entrepreneur. And so he worked with the Applied Research Group as a researcher following his PhD, developing a lot of the research in that Applied Physics Research Group, and during that time co-founded Electrical Analytics, which we'll talk about in the next slide. Since then he has, for a variety of other reasons, emigrated to Canada, but he had a research interest in scanning tunneling microscopy, self-assembly molecules, graphene for electronics, and then data analytics on the power grid and entrepreneurship. So the Electrical Analytics startup company that he helped co-found, and he was the chief executive officer of, helped companies like the ESB collect data about their power grid, helped improve energy efficiency to combat climate change, worked with Trinity College Dublin in pilot phases to reduce our electricity bills, and his work and his company's work was featured in the Irish Times, 2FM, Sunday Business Post, winning awards for the company, which is still developing further in his absence, but he has started it out along the way. And so an entrepreneurship is a significant factor in this case. And in fact, Trinity College Dublin graduates have almost the highest rate of starting new companies compared to almost any university across Europe. An example of a career beyond physics, okay? So in this case, Dr. Maria O'Brien, originally from Clare, she took her bachelor's degree in nanoscience and PhD in nanoscience. In the nanoscience being at the interface between physics and chemistry, she took a PhD in chemistry, and then she became the senior quantitative analyst for the AA in Ireland. Has since transitioned to the marketing analytics manager for LinkedIn. What's a data analyst? Industries such as retailers, all sorts of industries, as well as retailers, all sorts of companies, and governments now have data describing all of their activities and those of their customers, clients, and citizens. So breaking down that information and working out how to improve things, how to improve efficiencies, reduce costs, increase responsiveness, or improve quality of life are key. This detailed example is thanks to Dr. O'Brien, and when she spoke at the Careers Fair here last year in 2019, and I'm going to show one of the slides that she provided, and this describes, in careers beyond physics. If we look at the AA and the analytics team structure in AA Ireland, who has a data degree? Well, in fact, if one looks at who has a data degree, we can look at all of the people who are as quant analysts, or senior quant analyst, or the chief analytics officer, or the director of insurance. In 2019, the picture was like this, where almost all of them either have degrees in physics, or in engineering, or in chemistry, or in computer science. Almost all of the senior people had PhDs as well, And all of these required similar skills as in many other companies for data analysts: problem solving, data analysis, understanding of complex relationships, which is underpinned by mathematical equations, and this really does imply a physics degree or other science degrees, because these are the degrees that equip people in this manner. So again, in terms of our physics degrees in Trinity College Dublin, we have 4 degrees in physics, 4 degrees with physics as the major component. Our physics degree entered through the physical sciences entry, our physics and astrophysics degree entered through physical sciences, our nanoscience degree entered through physical sciences and also through chemical sciences, and the theoretical physics separate entry degree. So you want to do physics? Choose Trinity College Dublin. Thank you very much.